Welcome back, Spursonian. The international break is behind us. Whoosh. It's behind us, and we're ready to dive into some more Premier League action this weekend. On Saturday, Tottenham Hotspur take on Sheffield United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Kickoff is 3 p.m. But that is just the beginning of the story, because before the international break, Spurs demolished Burnley 5-2 and riding high on confidence. And they're hungry for more, another 3 points that would take us to 13 points from 15 from our first 5 games. And with Arsenal and Liverpool on the horizons, we're going to be looking to get into those fixtures on a high. So, an important game for us. Meanwhile, Sheffield United still looking for that first elusive Premier League win of the season, but they will take heart and be spirited by their 2-2 draw against Everton at home before the international break. So, it's all to play for. So let's do a quick preview of the match, covering team news, form guides, head-to-heads, key players to watch, the story of the game, and of course, my prediction about what's going to take place at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So stay tuned and let's get into it.
Okay, so we're on the team news here. So let's see what's going on in the latest, or with the latest team news for Tottenham. So during the international break, we heard rumours that some of the players may be coming back injured. And this has to be the bane of every club, right, after international break, as their players, especially key players, coming back injured. And so with Spurs, we had Romero, Son, and Richarlison, to name a few, that had injury doubts. And obviously, because our squad doesn't have the depth, God forbid someone like Romero or Son got injured, right? We would have concerns about that. But the latest news I'm hearing at the moment, obviously Romero had a thigh concern. He came back today with training. Seems to be okay with him. Son had a knee concern. He returned to training. He seemed to look in good spirits and fit when I saw some of the clips online. And Richarlison having his documented comments around about psychiatric help. He's fit. Well, he's available to play. Whether he's in a mental state to play would be another matter. However, so we don't really have too many injury concerns. We still just got the old people who are out currently, which is Rodrigo Bentancur. Although I saw some videos of him today training with the squad and on his own, but mostly on his own doing drills and stuff like that. So he would probably be returning soon, but he's obviously not going to be available this weekend. And we've got Brian Hill, Ryan Sessegnon out, but close to recovery soon. And obviously Lo Celso was an injury doubt before the international break, and he is speculated to be touch and go. It generally seems like we're going to have a full bill of health of players to choose from for the most part, which is good because we need it. And as I said, we've got Arsenal and Liverpool coming up soon, so we don't want to have too many injuries at this point in time of the season. Sheffield United, even though this is not a Sheffield United channel, I'll just touch on some of the things I heard about them today, which basically, even with Sheffield United with a full team, I'd fancy us, but they've got a lot of defensive injuries reported today, and so this is going to probably have an influence on my prediction as we go in. So that's just the team news going into Saturday's game, and let's now look at the form guide and the head-to-head. Form is temporary, class is permanent, as the old adage goes. But in this game, form matters. And so we're looking at the form of the two teams going into this fixture on Saturday. And Spurs have a form guide of played 4, won 3, drawn 1. So they've won the last 3 games. And they've scored 2 goals in virtually every game, including the Burnley game where they got 5. And they've only conceded, I think it's 4 goals this season. In Premier League terms, Sheffield United played 4, lost 3, drew 1, which was the last game just before the international break against Everton. And so Spurs have taken 10 points from their possible 12, and they sit second. And Sheffield United have taken 1 point from a possible 12, and they sit 17th. So we are on fire. We've scored 11 goals so far to date, and only Man City have scored more than us, and only Brighton have had more shots on goal than us, and that's one in both of those categories. Man City have scored one more goal than us, and Brighton have had one more shot on target than us. So we're clearly the form team when it comes to attacking and scoring goals, and so I think that this is going to be favour the form guide. 4 of Sheffield United's last 5 games, competitive away games, have ended in defeat. So Sheffield United don't travel well, and so coming to the Lane or Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is not going to bode well for them. However, if we look at the head-to-heads, Sheffield United have actually done quite well against us, but not when they travel down to the Lane or the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Their last win at Tottenham came in 1991. But the last time we played in the Premiership, which was in the 2020 to 2021 season, the season that they got relegated, we did the double of them, beating them 3-1 and 4-0 during that season. So, however, we remember Sheffield United because it wasn't so long ago. In fact, it was earlier this year where Sheffield United dumped us out of the FA Cup 1-0 at Bramall Lane. So, Sheffield United at Bramall Lane have usually been a tricky fixture for us, but at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, no problemo. And I expect it to go a similar way in this fixture. Well, because we've got a possible full team to choose from, I'm going to suggest that we're going to have Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro at right back, Romero and Van der Ven the centre backs, and Destiny Udogie the left back. And in case you haven't seen my Destiny Udogie video where I predict that he's going to become a best or a world class left back, check it out. Then we've got Pap Sarr. Happy birthday to Pap Sarr today. Yves Bissouma, Kulusevski, Maddison, Solomon, Son. That is the lineup I'm going to go for. However, we've got Brennan Johnson in line for his debut in this game, and I do think he will make his debut. I don't think he will start. I think he will come off on the bench. So that's a possible storyline there in the game where Brennan Johnson will come on, have his debut, and grab a goal. Speaking of players, I think the key players to watch in this game are going to be Maddison, Son, Bissouma are the main protagonists. My little wild card in there, I would say Solomon might have a good game as well. Been impressed with him. And as I said, I've tipped Destiny Udogie to do great things. So watch out for him in this game as well. He may have an attacking threat. He had an assist in the last game. I think he left something to say in this game. Now, the storylines of this game are, like I say, they're kind of interesting. Now, let's stay with Son. Son's playing through the middle on this game. Now, Son has scored 31 goals. Or let me rephrase that. Son has been involved in 31 goals or had 31 goal involvements in 31 games against newly promoted sides, scoring 21 and assisting in 10. So, he clearly likes these kind of teams. And more specifically against Sheffield United, he has scored in the last 4 times against them or provided assists. So, Son may have a field day at home. He had a field day away to Burnley. He's coming back from international break. Hopefully he's not too tired. But I think Son probably will get on the score sheet again tomorrow. And so, this might be the Son show again tomorrow. And because now Sheffield United are plagued with injuries at the back. And even if Sheffield United had a full team to choose from, I still think we would be a formidable opponent for Sheffield United anyway. And even though their games have been quite tight this season, they've been beaten, but they've been tight. I would still fancy us to actually steamroll them. We've been quite impressive in the forward line, and I think that that's going to continue. Now, with their defensive issues, I think we're going to have probably a field day there as long as we've got our shooting boots on. And I think that's likely gonna. So I see a lot of goals in an entertaining game. So my prediction, I'm going for a 4-1 home win. Yep, I think there'll be a lot of goals. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be surprised if it's bigger than that, whether it's 4-0 or 5. And I expect Spurs to really rack up the goals in this game. The defensive frailties of Sheffield United, the attacking threat and prowess of Spurs, the feel-good factor around Spurs, the form, the winning mentality that's been there since the beginning of the season. I just think Spurs are going to have their tails up. And going into the North London derby in the following game, I just think everything is there to put Spurs in a real good mood. And so I think Spurs are going to win this comfortably by at least 3 or 4 goals. But I'm going to go with a 4-1 victory. I'm not sure we've got the defensive fluidity right yet. Even though I like the defenders we've got, and I think everyone's done well so far. Yeah, we're gonna probably concede goals. I don't think we're as solid. We still concede chances. We still have sloppy plays in possession. We give the ball away cheaply sometimes in poor areas. So I think Sheffield United will get chances. They're not the most prolific team, so they're not likely to punish us at every opportunity. But I think they might grab themselves a goal. And so therefore I can see Sheffield United probably getting on the score sheet, even though we've had a good defensive record this season. So yeah, 4-1 is what I'm going for. And it should be a comfortable victory, and the Spurs should go marching on. So let's have your say. That's my prediction, 4-1 to Spurs. What say you? Are you going for a Spurs victory? And if so, by how many? Or do you think it will be a stalemate, a draw? Sheffield United, desperate for points, want to get some momentum going in their season. Do you think that they could be a banana skin there? Do you think the form guy goes out the window in games like this? And maybe they might have the fresher players because they don't have many internationals. So how do you see this game going? So drop your comments in the comment section with your predictions. Hit the like button on the way out, and thank you for watching the video, and subscribe for new content. Come on, you Spurs.